Hey, tonight I want to tell you a very quiet story. Not a loud success story, not a celebration post, not a highlight reel. This is a story about the kind of change that doesn't get clapped for, the kind of healing no one sees, the kind of obedience no one announces, breaking generational patterns quietly. And this story is mine. If you are trying to change the story of your family without a lot of support, without a lot of applause, this one is for you. Let's slow down for a moment. I grew up learning how to survive, not intentionally, but by watching, by listening, by adapting. I learned early how to make do, how to be strong, how to not depend too much on anyone, how to keep moving no matter how heavy life felt. Nobody sat me down and taught me those things. They were passed down quietly through behavior, through stress, through how people handle pain. And when I became a mother young, I realized something. I was now responsible for what would be passed down next. That moment changes you because you stop only thinking about how to get through life and start thinking about how your children will experience life. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 9 says, "Know therefore that the Lord your God is God. He is the faithful God, keeping his covenant of love to 1,000 generations." God cares about generations, not just moments. Let me ask you something gently. What patterns did you grow up watching? How did your family handle stress, money, conflict, love, disappointment? Because you don't only inherit eye color, you inherit emotional habits, you inherit coping strategies, you inherit silence, you inherit fear, you inherit resilience. And healing asks you to look at all of it. I became a mother when I was 17, and I didn't know what kind of mother I would be. But I knew what kind of life I didn't want my children to live. I didn't want chaos to feel normal. I didn't want stress to feel permanent. I didn't want survival to be their default setting. So I made hard choices. Quiet choices, moving away, starting over, choosing peace over proximity, choosing growth over comfort. And not everyone understood that. Some people thought I was running, but I wasn't running. I was protecting. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." An inheritance is not only money, it's emotional safety, it's stability, it's opportunity, it's faith. Here's what God has taught me about breaking cycles. You don't break patterns by talking about them. You break patterns by living differently, by choosing rest when burnout is normal, by choosing structure when chaos is familiar, by choosing healing when silence is expected, by choosing prayer when fear tries to take over, by choosing therapy, counseling, community, and growth when pride tells you to handle it alone. Breaking cycles is lonely work because you often don't have examples. You become the example, and that is heavy sometimes, but it is holy work. Because every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose peace, every time you choose apologize, every time you try again, you are rewriting a story that didn't start with you. Joshua chapter 24, verse 15 says, "As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord." You get to decide what rules your home. I'm 44 now, and when I look at my children, I see the quiet work. I see confidence where I once had fear. I see stability where I once had uncertainty. I see opportunity where I once had limitation. Not because I was perfect, not because I was intentional, because I was willing to change, even when it was uncomfortable. Affirm this with me. I release generational patterns that no longer serve me. I choose healing for my family. I choose peace for my household. I choose faith for my future. I am brave enough to live differently. I honor the responsibility of change. I am building a new legacy. My obedience will bless generations. God is with me as I lead my family forward. I am not alone in this work. If this episode felt like your journey, put amen in the comments. Not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. Stay fancy, stay focused, and keep your eyes on God. In a minute,